Welcome! This is the RPG Crawler with another game playthrough. Today we will be starting Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition, a remake of an old Infinity Engine classic based on the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition rule set. Now, I personally enjoy the Icewind Dale series a little bit more than the Baldur's Gate series, even though the Baldur's Gate series has a better overall storyline and campaign. Just because the Icewind Dale series took itself a little less seriously. It is a focus on the hack and slash side of the game system. You get to customize your entire party, all 6 slots according to your whims. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and begin the playthrough. We will be using a sort of semi-hardcore rule set. We will go ahead and do take the first rolls given, or the first total of rolls given. We can go ahead and redistribute the points. We will do permanent death. If a party member dies, we will not re-roll. We will have to go back to town and find some way to resurrect them. We will go ahead and basically not do a save reload unless the entire party wipes or unless I encounter a game-breaking bug. Now, I played this a little bit. There are some bugs involved, but none of them so far have been totally game-shattering. Now, I've done a playthrough of the first chapter, the introduction, on Twitch. Unfortunately, my video was corrupted, so I was unable to save it and put it up to YouTube. So, YouTube, this is for you. I'm starting anew. Not going to be a live stream. Let's begin this game. Now, I do like how they preserved more of the original look and feel of the original intro, as opposed to those of you who have played Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. You understand what they did to the intro on that, and even though it has better graphics, in my opinion, it loses some of the old intro and reveal. This one, they simply took the renders and made them, it looks like, made them run a little bit smoother, cleaned them up a little bit, and made them higher resolution. As you can tell, this was done, all that texture there is an obvious improvement over the original, I believe. I believe it's been a while since I played the original.
Our story takes place in the northern region of Faerûn.
Now, the story is somewhat important.
It is a harsh, frozen land.
It will give you the basic background of the area in question.
Called the spine of the world. For
basically a
centuries,
frozen wasteland,
the icy plains of the Dale have been home to the
beset by barbarians
of the Uthgard
and various monsters. So we're classic
huddled together in
AD&D
small, closely knit tribes. The barbarians lived simple lives,
kind of straddling on the edge of civilization,
fiercely independent,
doing what you can to make the world better. And there's something to be said for that.
Until the day an archmage named Ericon came to Icewind Dale.
The archmage.
With an army of mercenaries, Ericon sought to conquer the north and force the fierce barbarians into slavery.
So this is basically a slightly better version of the old turn page intro. And
defeat seemed inevitable.
I have to say, it moves a lot smoother for me. I don't know if that was just because my old version was shit or what.
A barbarian shaman named Jarrett came forth and demanded a council between all the remaining tribes in the north.
This, I'm not sure how useful much of this information is, but it is some background.
Put aside their differences and unite against Ericon.
If you want to, I know I'm talking over it a lot, but if you want to watch the intro, I'm sure you can find the intro online, or purchase the game and watch it.
Who had counted on the division of the tribes.
Aside, it's a lot of basically too long didn't read version. Is that an evil wizard assaulted the barbarians. The barbarians had this shaman who came up and united them.
Ericon had time for one last desperate act
opens this portal and Jaren
Drawing upon his remaining
sacrifices
power,
himself to close
the
it.
Archmage reached the planar boundary, opened a portal to the lower planes. The foolish Archmage's cries of victory immediately turned to shrieks of terror as the
See,
hideous and
that's what
twisted
happens when you
shapes of
rely on
demonkind
wild magic. Go ahead and do what
materialized
you
from
need
the
to do.
portal and poured onto the battlefield. The sudden appearance of the demons drove the combatants, barbarian and mercenary alike, to turn to meet the new threat.
But that's the thing I noticed. If he opened it to the Nine Hells, in AD&D, the Nine Hells is the home of the devils, not the demons. And the difference is basically where the demons are chaotic, brutal, and destructive, as they're describing here. Whereas the devils are kind of equally destructive, but not wild. They're very methodical, corruptive sorts.
High upon a ridge in the distance.
So, I don't know.
Jared immediately
Whoever wrote
this vision as an omen from his
I
god,
guess it was
Tempest.
written from a
And in that
perspective of
instant,
somebody who doesn't know
he
magic,
knew
but as you'll see
what had to be done.
later in the
Shouting
game,
cries to his god,
the game's own
charged
storyline
through the
kind of
ranks of the
contradicts,
demons and plunged into the
you know, that important. In other words, the person writing the story should have known the difference.
As
In
Jared's
character,
blood
not out of
fused with
character.
The energies of the portal, an explosion of white light engulfed the battlefield.
But that is something
When the
that
light subsided,
will be seen later
the
in the playthrough.
demons were gone, and the portal was closed.
I don't know if this enhanced edition includes Trials of the Lore Master or
hovered
anything
a
like
disc
that. Or is
of solid stone.
Heart of Winter? I know it
Frozen
includes
within
Heart
the
of
center
Winter.
of the disc was Jared's body.
I thought
locked
Trials of the Lore
in his
Master
final
was like an
moment of
expansion
agony,
to
in his final moment
Heart of Winter.
triumph
So
for all eternity. But that is
So I'm not
the
sure
end
if this
of our
actually
tale.
includes that.
It is
I guess I could look it up,
but
but
the beginning.
we'll see. I'll let you know on my next playthrough. So let's go, intro's done. Let's go ahead and go to single player, new game, and we'll get rid of all these pre-made characters. Okay. So first up, we need some sort of tank. So what makes a good tank? Fighters, paladins, certain clerics. I think we'll go with a paladin. So we will go with a male. Pick. This guy looks suitably paladinish. I don't know what that symbol is on his. I think it's a symbol of Helm, which is one of the gods of the Forgotten Realms. Human, of course, because you can. In AD&D 2nd Edition, only human. So we'll go with a paladin, and we'll go with a cavalier because they get a bonus damage rolls against demons, devils, dragons, and wyverns. Now, I don't think that there's that many. I don't think there's any dragons or wyverns in the game, but I know that there are devils, and they are pretty big creatures. So for those, cannot use ranged weapons. There's going to be a severe limitation in the early part of the game. Can only be lawful good as a paladin. But I think he'll make up with it in just how badass he is. Alright. So, first of all, 83 is not a bad total roll. I will reduce his intelligence down to idiot levels. And we will see what... Oh, that is a very nice strength. 18/87. I could not ask for much better than that. We'll boost his dexterity up mostly because for purposes of this game, dexterity is greater than anything because it directly impacts your armor class, no matter what you're wearing. So now, as for the rest, wisdom is useful to cast spells, but paladins don't get the bonus for high wisdom. Charisma. Paladin starts at 17 charisma. I prefer a dedicated non-paladin character with a high charisma because paladins have a bad habit of basically not allowing you to twist people's arms. They're always lawful, always good. So let's go ahead and just dump that into Constitution. Hope that gets me some sort of bonus. I doubt it. I think you need 15, but we'll see. Skills. He's a cavalier, so we'll go with a two-handed sword and two-handed weapon style, and that will basically make him hit like a truck. We will give him gray hair. a little bit more tan skin. Let's see. He's got that silver going on, and we'll go with red for the minor. Alright. That gives him a distinct look. Now, in terms of voices, I want to
You'll soon sleep with the dead.
Since he's going to be our party leader, I'm
God's
going to
grant
want
me
something
strength.
that's going to be kind of subtle and not grate on me.
I would be honored. Oh, the
I think
demons of
this is-
sleep hound me. I need rest.
I think this will be suitable for him. And we will name him after a old D&D character of mine, Baldur. Accept. So what's next? It helps to have two frontline fighters. For our purposes, we're going to end up with a cleric, a wizard, a rogue, or a thief in this game. Some sort of bard, and then last but not least, I think I'm going to end up with a druid. But the issue is that the druid is going to be a shapeshifter, because I have never played one of those. So let's make a half-elf druid that's going to be a shapeshifter. Pick something that looks kind of suitably druidish. Yeah, I think that last one looks druid. That looks good for a druid. Race, half-elf, because elves, straight-up elves, cannot be druids. They really messed up thing. Druid and shapeshifter. Now the shapeshifter can shift into a werewolf once per day. It gets additional uses after that. May shapeshift into a greater werewolf once per day at 13th level. But the thing about it is that give up the ability to wear armor. No other shapeshifting abilities, which means you can't become, various other things that druids can be at higher level. But more importantly, when you shapeshift, your stats are set to a certain amount based on what you shapeshifted into. So her overall stats really don't matter quite so much. Because you're not going to be wearing armor. You're rarely going to be using weapons. So for her, we can bump her constitution. She doesn't need high charisma, but a druid is going to have naturally high charisma. Does not need high intelligence. So we can max out her wisdom right off the bat. She doesn't necessarily need high strength, because she's going to be in shapeshift form like 9 times out of 10. Now I'm going to bump the constitution up. Not necessarily to gain... Well, I think the hit points, the hit point gain is useful for when you're not in werewolf form. The rest, it's going to be overtaken in combat by werewolf abilities anyway, so we'll stick with that. Now, as for items, the real thing is that I'm not sure whether these weapon styles, whether they apply to being, when you're in a werewolf form. I'll take a sling, because you want some sort of ranged weapon. And aside from that, I mean, as I said, she's going to be in werewolf form most of the time. I wish I could just hang on to this point, but I know I can't, so I will give her scimitar just in case. Just in case I find some sort of nice magic scimitar. And what's she going to memorize? 2 Cure Lights and an Entangle. Entangle is just so useful. Appearance, dark hair is good. She's going to be outside most of the time. Alright. Brown clothes for her major. And her minor is also going to be brown. This kind of looks like a drab druid. Now what sounds good for for somebody who's going to be a raging werewolf like 90% of the time?
By Clangeddin's twin axes!
That is a dwarf. That is not an elf, though.
A stout sword and sturdy shield can take
onward to victory! It is an honor to lead. I'm exhausted.
I don't
Let us
know
rest
about that.
for a while. I shall slay you. I will endeavor to be a wise... I am in need of a good night's rest.
Even though that's a mage, it fits the druid thing, so we'll go with her. What is a good druid name? What is a good druid name? I thought that I'd done one before. Let's go with. You know, it doesn't really matter. Oh, you know what? Skyrim reference. Alright. So that's 2 down. Now I'm going to need my basic, the rest of my basic 4, which is basically Cleric, Thief, and Wizard. So for the Cleric, we will make a human Cleric. Let's go this way, because I think I know one that's real close to the top here. There we go. Nice human Cleric. Not an elf human. Class. Cleric. Priest of Lathander. Because all the disadvantages to that is that it restricts your alignment. You get these in addition to your spells. So you get all the Cleric stuff, plus some stuff. So there's no reason not to take a kit. Now let me take a look. Priest of Tyr might also be useful, but I think I'm gonna go with the Priest of Lathander, because the Boon of Lathander is pretty much similar to what the Priest of Tyr gives, and you can cast on anybody. It protects them from level drain, and that could become important. Alignment, lawful good. We got 2 lawful goods and a neutral. Abilities. 75 didn't give us much, but we start with a natural 18 on. Not bad. I don't necessarily think that I'm going to need charisma for it. I'm literally going to dump stat that. Going to spend a lot of time in melee, so we have to get these up pretty high. I think 15 is the maximum that you can, in terms of hit points per level, that's going to give you your maximum. So that's straight up cheese, but hey, it gives us a decent Cleric. Cleric's going to use a Morning Star and a Sling. Yeah, that'll work. Once again, will we get 2 Cure Light Wounds, except this time we'll also get a... well, actually, I'm going to use a Bard. If I'm going to use a Bard, then that's not going to stack with Bard songs. So what am I going to do? I can get Doom, but that's only for 1 person. Hell, I'll do that. Just in case I hit a big nasty. I can't take Doom. It's evil. No, because I already highlighted Bless. That's why. Okay, Doom. Just in case I hit a big bruiser, like for instance an ogre. Those of you who've played before. Hair will make her look like her picture. Kind of blonde, fair skin. Major is going to be like a dark, deep. No, that's going to be like her coat. We need what? A dark, almost like purplish kind of. I don't have anything like that. We'll go with this. Alright, and then blue for the minor. And
Attack.
I thought that I heard one of these female fighters
My
that sounded
aim shall be
kind of
true.
like what I would expect a
A
cleric to
stout
sound.
sword and sturdy. This is a lot of responsibility.
Onward to victory!
By
Oh yeah, that's the
Tungadin's
dwarf.
twin axes.
Attack. I shall lead the way.
Your time draws. I will do my best to keep us out of harm's way.
Sounds
Let's
okay.
spill some blood.
Let's go with number 2. Alright. And we will name her Clarity. A nice cleric-y name. No last name, just Clarity. Alright. Next is going to be a thief. And I think I already saw what kind of thief I want. There was a halfling that was cute as hell. The little sword. There we go. Sling, sword, although I think she's actually going to use a bow. Unless halflings get some sort of bonus with slings. Yeah, they get a bonus with slings. So I'm going to actually give her a sling, even though bows have a higher fire rate. We'll go with Thief, because a straight up Thief is going to be your best bet. In terms of skill points, it's going to be your best bet. Give her a neutral good, so she can't be lawful. And on abilities, 82 is really nice. So she doesn't need her charisma, she does not need her intelligence. Her strength is maxed out, her dexterity is maxed out, her constitution is going to be like that. Now I am going to boost her wisdom up, because wisdom flat out gives a bonus, and between the shorty bonus, I'm going to max her constitution out as well, because I think that halflings, so forth, get a bonus based on constitution. And we'll make her not a complete idiot, just slightly. Okay, in terms of this, we're going to go ahead and max out open locks right off the bat. As you can see, halflings get natively good skills all the way across the board. And I will make her give her the stuff that is in her picture, which is basically a sling and a short sword. So, yeah, there we go. Appearance. Hair is dark, kind of like an almost black skin. Give her kind of like that. Major. No, I can't remember what that looks like, so we will give her kind of. It's gonna be a lot of browns in this party. For minor, we will give her like a nice burgundy or a nice red kind of thing. And the thief.
Let's dance. Dash and slap. What?
That sounds
Me
halfling.
lead?
So even though it is a little grating, I don't see her. Actually, she's gonna be a thief. She's gonna be on top, front of a bunch. Oh well. No, you know what? That's white in there. So yeah, on the minor we will go with white. Brown for the. Okay. Little bit of a backtrack, but we got it now. Give her a little bit tanner skin. Okay. And thief 1. Done. Name. Willow. Bakefoot. That sounds halfling, doesn't it? Alright. I think I had a AD&D character name. Alright. Next is going to be a wizard. So let's go with a male this time, because we've got a lot of females. And here we go. Human. Class. Wizard or a mage, and we're going to go with a specialist necromancer. That cuts out enchantment. There's a big school for low-level crowd control, but overall, necromancy is going to be pretty solid for me. Make him true neutral. No, you know what? We're going to make him lawful evil because we want to give him a particular type of familiar. Okay, so nice roll. We're going to max out our int. We're going to max out our wisdom. We do not need to max out our constitution. We really don't need to max out our strength either, because if you can't get a bonus on strength, it's not going to be worth getting anything. So, dexterity high is going to make him proficient with slings, which we're going to give him right off the bat. So let's give him a sling, because that way he can actually contribute. Now, as for spells, no. Go with Find Familiar. Go with Larlock's Minor Drain, because getting up in front in combat is going to be somewhat suicidal. And we will give him Color Spray, which is a nice crowd control spell. Not as good as Sleep, but it's not Enchantment Charm. And of course, one of his spells has got to be his Necromancy spell. The other one is going to be Find Familiar to start with, and we will switch that out later. As for the rest, his hair is going to be white as hell because he's an old man. It's going to make him pale. They're going to, I think that's the right color robes. I'm going to give him a little bit of gold on those robes. There we go. Now, what's good voice?
Here I come. and the hells come with me.
Gods grant me strength. You'll soon sleep with the dead. I'll be the leader for now. I'm tired of trotting around like a damn mule. Let's find an inn and some warm bed.
Come then.
Something that sounds nice,
Do my best.
kind of like a crotchety old man
I
that
grow
directs
weary.
zombies.
I'm ready when you are.
It is a shame that we must resort to violence.
No.
Watch your back!
No.
Ha ha!
No.
To the pain.
There
the
we go.
learned should lead.
Perfect. That sounds very much like a kind of guy that he's going to be. Tyrannus. Bard. And that looks nice. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to put a bard in. It's going to be a standard bard because the bard song is going to be particularly useful. Now, I think I saw somebody in here that I like to put in as a bard. It's kind of a mix-up of several different classes several different parties that I've run in previous versions of this game. So bard, we'll go with a standard bard. And we will go with neutral good. Abilities, come on, give me some decent abilities. We'll reduce the wisdom because yeah, this kind of screwed us. We're gonna have to go all the way down on wisdom. That is gonna give us a serious penalty in terms of saves versus spells, but that's alright. We're gonna bump charisma up to 18. It's gonna be our party phase. We're gonna have to get strength up to 13 so she can get the weapon that I want for her. And dexterity up to 18. Have to leave intelligence relatively high. Because basically, and I don't want to reduce Constitution down to where I'm getting a penalty to hit points. I don't think 18 gives you a penalty. I could grab my player's handbook real quick and find out, but I don't think it does. But you're going to want at least 16 intelligence, simply because bards can cast spells too, and you want a decent chance of being able to memorize anything. Because there is a spell failure in this game. So let's see, done. Skills, we will give her some sort of pole arm so that she can attack from the back. And let's go with a longbow. Because basically, I don't think any of my other characters have bows. They all have slings. Yeah, I'm a sling party. I mean, bows are randomly better, but I'll only have the one. Now, in terms of this, her hair's good, her skin's good. I think we'll give her that kind of red dress with white trim. Does that sound good? And in terms of voice,
Onward to victory!
A stout sword and sturdy shield can take you. My aim shall be true. If you wish for my leadership, let me find some place to set camp.
that sounds good. So let's go with that. That will be our party. We've got our paladin, druid, cleric, thief, wizard, and bard. No multi-classes. I know most of the time multi-classing is good for this game, but I kind of want to advance these people up in levels pretty quickly. And you know, we got double healing here, and he's going to be able to contribute healing later on. We've got wilderness skills. We got double arcane, kind of, well, arcane and a half. So it's going to be a good playthrough.
Our tale begins here.
We'll go ahead and listen to the
quiet
prologue.
fishing village of East Haven,
Quiet fishing
one of the
village of East
so-called
Haven.
10 towns of
One of the
Icewind
10
Dale.
Yeah, so
The
just
tiny community
basically
is hardly
dots,
a town,
like, you know, the Points of
but
Light
rather
campaign.
a collection of
For those of
ramshackle
you who
huts
played
crowded together upon the icy
D&D in
shores
recent years,
of Lancashire.
that's kind of what that is there's
Here, within a dimly
little
lit
settlements
tavern,
in the midst of a
a group of
wilderness, which
travelers
gives you
sit
plenty of
huddled around a
opportunities
table,
for adventure.
swapping tales
It starts in a
and making
tavern,
grand
classic
plans for the future,
AD&D style.
completely unaware of the part they are to play in the events that are about to unfold.
So what we will do is go ahead and hit done, and we will listen to Hrothgar's intro, and then I will go ahead and call
What's
this for now,
New face in
and
town,
we can
eh?
begin with actual
Well met,
playthrough
stranger.
in
The name is
next
Hrothgar,
episode.
originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home.
Okay.
Who might you be?
There's another reason to have a good paladin in front is because there are times when an NPC will come up and talk to you right off the bat without giving you time to shuffle your party face up in the front. So the fact that the paladin has decent charisma means that I'm not going to miss out on too much. Okay, greetings.
Well then, welcome to Easthaven. Whatever your business in these parts might be, I
fully
would
voiced,
offer
so you know
this
he's an
small
important
piece of
NPC.
advice. While you're in my
At least
town,
in the intro.
you do well to be on your best behavior.
Okay.
These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way
I
shall
understand,
answer
man.
to
I'm not
me.
going to fuck with them.
That said, I'll let
Although,
you get back to your
it's
cups.
always tempting
I'm
to
sure
do
you've
so.
had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn.
So there's
on
an
the
inn,
east
a
side of
tavern,
town. Equipment
a
and supplies
basic
can be
equipment
purchased next
store,
door at Pomab's
and basically
Emporium.
everything you need for a starting town.
Pomab's prices
So,
are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around.
Kalashites
Ill-prepared
are
travelers
kind
don't
of
last
like
long in
the
these
Middle
parts.
Eastern and Persian area in Forgotten Realms, and they're known for merchants, for basically being snobs to the rest of the quote-unquote barbarous north, which is basically pretty much all the European ones.
Once you've had a chance to rest up and get your bearings, come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss
So
with
we've
you.
got a lead for our first
Farewell.
major quest there, so watch him go and say goodbye. Alright. With that having been said, we will go ahead and call it here. This has been the RPG Crawl, playing Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. If you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. And please stay tuned for more of the Icewind Dale playthrough. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and goodbye.